In what might be the most shocking moment of Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, the potential for a massive crossover is revealed. Here's why it could change the franchise forever. Warning, spoilers ahead. It was the question that dominated much of the franchise while under the purview of director Michael Bay. How can each Transformers movie keep one-upping the last? After starting with a relatively straightforward story centered on a boy and his car in the 2007 original, each subsequent film continued to up the ante until audiences had no choice but to accept the most utterly ludicrous concepts as nothing more than series lore. Transformers Heaven, a Decepticon lunar conspiracy, the extinction of the dinosaurs, and an absolutely bonkers fifth film confirming the Transformers were involved in Arthurian legend, Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, and also the assassination of Adolf Hitler? Sure, why not? The two Transformers movies made after Bay exited the franchise have remained much less interested in continuing the more is more trend, opting instead to try and get audiences invested in simple stories, likable characters, and a much more family-friendly tone. After Bumblebee attempted its best riff on E.T., Rise of the Beast set its sights on one of the most popular Transformers material of them all, Beast Wars. Although the results were mixed, the film had one last card up its sleeve to rival any of its predecessors. In its final scene, the film makes its boldest and most daring move yet, as Noah Diaz discovers the world of the Transformers has become even more crowded, with a long-awaited Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, okay, it's real.
Throughout Rise of the Beasts, our protagonist Noah struggles to land a job interview as he works to pay off medical debt as a result of his younger brother Chris's medical bills. This all-too-relatable backstory gets put on pause when he's whisked away by Optimus Prime and the rest of the Autobots team up with Optimus Primal's Maximals to prevent the arrival of the world-devouring Unicron. In the movie's coda, Noah walks into an unassuming interview conducted by a strangely knowledgeable character known only as Agent Burke. Noah discovers that his exploits with the Transformers didn't go under everyone's radar, and Agent Burke reveals what's really going on. While fans are led to assume that could be a tease for Sector 7, the secretive government organization in charge of dealing with Transformers that first appears in the 2007 film, the truth is much bigger than that. Noah finds himself being recruited for the job he'd be perfect for, joining the G.I. Joes and acting as an official liaison with the Autobots. With a flourish, the shadowy Agent Burke presses a button that opens up the bland office into a futuristic government bunker that comes complete with a distinctive and unmistakable G.I. Joe logo. Does this scene mean that Noah is definitely coming back for the next movie? Did that very Transformers-looking scrap of metal in the background of the secret warehouse hint at a convenient new origin for all of the G.I. Joe's fancy vehicles and gadgets? Unfortunately, information is scarce right now. Fans are all too familiar with the long-running saga concerning the Hasbro toys G.I. Joe and Transformers. Since Paramount distributes both properties, both are linked by producer Lorenzo di Bonaventura, and both have undergone recent attempts to launch live-action franchises on the big screen. It doesn't take much imagination to wonder whether we could be in for an Alien vs. Predator-esque crossover at some point down the line. There's an established history of Transformers and G.I. Joe crossing over. To date, fans have had to settle for toys and comic book storylines putting the two IPs together. From a Marvel Comics series titled G.I. Joe and the Transformers, published in 1986, to 2003's G.I. Joe vs. the Transformers. Most recently, IDW Publishing has cornered the market with these crossover bonanzas, launching several series throughout the 2010s. But as far as live-action adaptations are concerned, this would be a first. Going by the plot of Rise of the Beasts, it's easy to see why now would be the time for a little backup. Although our heroes defeated the threat of Scourge and his Predacons and Terrorcons, and narrowly prevented the arrival of Unicron on Earth, the fan-favorite supervillain still remains at large. With a danger as existential as a god that devours planets, isn't it high time that Optimus called in some help?
Let them come.